Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said something on the steps of the Capitol building about the shooter of the health insurance CEO, and it has conservatives losing their mind, and I have the full story for you next. The New York representative is no stranger to conservatives losing their minds over the things she says, so that part's not unusual, and her skin has proven to be very thick. But some of the anger being slung at her from the right for her comments about this hot topic is next level. Jason Adams commented, if someone expressed a similar attitude towards AOC for her actions or policies, the FBI would be knocking on their door. Ofra Has a Stand said, can't believe she went there. NYC needs to toss her out. And Liz Wolfe wrote, what the hell is wrong with these people? Elizabeth Warren, now AOC. So what exactly did AOC and Elizabeth Warren say that has Republican heads spinning? It's about what Luigi Mangione did to UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And I'll have AOC's words in just a minute. Let's consider her words DEFCON 1. But first, let's have a listen to what the senator said, and I'll call her words DEFCON 2. This MSNBC clip not only shows what Elizabeth Warren said, but provides good context for this ongoing story.
We've been talking a lot about this Luigi Mangione, the case about the UnitedHealthcare CEO. People are very angry at UnitedHealthcare, I think for good reason, denying care and the whole system. And we were just talking in the previous block, killing a CEO is not the way you change. You have to regulate them, right? And so we've got attempts to try to rein in some of these big businesses. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which was your creation. The Trump administration wants to get rid of it. That is like protecting people from like credit card fraud. What happens if that goes away?
So look, terrible for individuals, but stop and think overall about the social contract. Part of the deal in how we've kept this democracy, this economy, this country on a fairly steady path for more than 200 years has been that those at the top pay a little more in taxes, are a little less rich than they otherwise might be, and everybody else at least gets a chance. And what happens when you turn this into the billionaires run it all is they get the opportunity to squeeze every last penny. And look, we'll say it over and over. Violence is never the answer. This guy gets a trial who's allegedly killed the CEO of UnitedHealth. But you can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What Mangione did to Brian Thompson has resulted in some very polarizing positions in the social discourse. Some are celebrating what happened because of the outrage against the health insurance industry and its mistreatment of customers, while others have condemned it and do not want to hear of the holding of two thoughts that Warren speaks of. Well, Elizabeth Warren said it out loud, and AOC did too, and then gave it a big red underline when asked about Mangione's anti-hero status.
I think that this collective American experience, which is so twisted to have in the wealthiest nation in the world, all of that pain that people have experienced is being concentrated on this event. And it's really important that we take a step back. This is not to comment, and this is not to say that an act of violence is justified. But I think for anyone who is confused or shocked or appalled, they need to understand that people interpret and feel and experience denied claims as an act of violence against them. People go homeless over the financial devastation of a diagnosis that doesn't get addressed, or, the amount that they're going to have to cover with a surprise bill and things like that. And when we kind of talk about how systems are violent in this country, in this passive way, our privatized healthcare system is like that for a huge amount of Americans. I mean, I did not have health insurance until I got elected to Congress. I was running. When I first ran for Congress, I had to sit in a free clinic.
Warren and AOC are being taken to task over the same word, and of course the words that followed, and that word is but. Warren said, but you can only push people so far, and AOC said, but you have to understand how people feel. We know that social media is a very unforgiving space, and if you say something like you understand both sides of a story, one or both will be used against you. If you take Elizabeth Warren and AOC's words in context, they aren't insensitive to the tragedy that happened, they are adjacent to what happened. And for greater context, let's not forget that we're all operating in an already bizarro world where Donald Trump is the single greatest anti-hero of the generation. So does anything make sense, really? And just to put a fine point on the fact that you never know what adjacent stories will result from and convolute the original story, watch this scene where a reporter ends up interacting with Luigi's cell block in real time. It's bonkers, and now it's its own adjacent story.
Inmates at the maximum security state prison where accused assassin Luigi Mangione is being held yell out their support on live TV.
Free Luigi! Luigi's conditions suck!
The inmates had TVs tuned to News Nation's Ashley Banfield, who waved to them as her colleague was reporting right outside the prison.
Can I just ask the guys, if they can hear me right now, to answer yes or no very loud? Does Luigi have television in his single cell? Wow, this is quite something. This is the strangest interview I've ever conducted.